Hey, what's going on YouTube? Welcome to How to Hobby. I've got this request quite a bit. I bought this Craftsman T140 in August of 2020, and I wanted to run this thing for a couple years to make an honest review whether it was worth buying or not. I don't know what the current pricing is on this. It was $1,299 when I bought it, and I walked out the door with it for $1,000 with opening a Lowe's charge, getting 10% back, and then they messed up, so they gave me an additional 10% off, so I walked out of there with 20% off the unit. So basically I paid $1,000 for this unit, and I'm basing my review on that price point paid, not whatever it currently may be. Before I walk you around the tractor and tell you a little bit about the good, the bad, let me just start by giving you the good. I'm still on the first battery 2 years later. It starts every time, no issue there. As far as the drivetrain, I've had no issue with it. Transmission wise, forward, neutral, and reverse all work fine. The drive belt for the wheels, absolutely no issues with so far. No slipping or anything. The deck belt I've had to replace 3 times. Once was because of my own doing. I got something in there and broke it. Outside of that, it has just been 2 times really. Once for normal wear and once because it was my own fault. The tires have held up really well. They still got good tread on them. Very pleased with that. Let's see what else. So basically I will walk you through some of the bad now, in my opinion, and I'm gonna go ahead and say what the bad is and kind of take you around the tractor and kind of just give you what I think is the bad. So from this point, I'm going to kind of move the tripod around. I will try to edit out as much of the jumping around as there is as I can. But first thing, I'm going to zoom in and just kind of give you one of the things that I kind of have a issue with, and set the camera over here, and right there, if you can see these foot pads, okay, these things drive me nuts. They don't attach, they're just kind of flapped there and held in with little plastic tabs. And that is extremely, I mean, they haven't fell off yet, but it's extremely cheap to me. I would definitely get one, either I would almost double side tape them things down there. You'd be better off than how they're attached from the factory. Like I said, they haven't fell off yet, but just something that I've noticed. And so we'll leave that with that. And we're going to slide y'all a little closer here. And popping open the hood, point out something as well is the gas cap here, or the gas tank here. This tank is 1 gallon, and I don't know if you'll be able to see it real good without me zooming in, but this basically giant zip tie is what holds the gas tank in. Could have probably done something a little less Chinesium. This kind of seems kind of crappy. Deck washing system, which is where that hose goes in right there with the green, that works really flawless. I've had no issue with that at all. So you shouldn't have any trouble with that. I've had a couple people say something about the seat is not adjustable. We're going to kind of walk you around there, and we'll just show you. So if you've ever questioned whether or not this is adjustable or not, I've had some people say that it is not. And the fact of the matter is you can adjust it right there. Just turn that down and slide the seat back. Now it doesn't have a huge adjustment, but it is adjustable if you're a little shorter. I'm 6'1". I wish it could go a little bit better, but nonetheless it is adjustable. I don't have any kids or anything around my area, so for me specifically, I disconnected the seat safety. I don't have any major hills or anything that are terrible that I need to be worried about that, so we have that. Now with the towing, and I state this, I have a 18 cubic foot trailer that I tow. I've had 1,600 pounds in it, which is the max for the trailer, and it has given me no problem. It's pulled it when I cut the hillside down, and I can show you that here momentarily. Let me just kind of bring this up and over. There was about 50 trees that was cut down through there, 50 foot, 60 foot tall, about the diameter of those little ones, 12 to 16 inches. Took those down no problem and pulled them up to the front. Going over to the other side, and sorry, this is the only way I can really do this. Another one of the things that I wish that they would have done differently is right here. I'm going to zoom you in. And I'll spin you around a little bit. Is these handles right here. I wish they would have brought it up a little taller and out, and the same with that, to make it a little easier to access when you're riding. And as far as on the deck, would have been nice had they included another set of anti-scalp wheels on the unit. So that's what I got to say about that. And one of the most recent disappointing things that I have found on this tractor, and I'll bring you back around to the other side, is the Zerk fittings that they put on it for grease. They absolutely don't go to anything. They're quite literally, they put Zerk fittings on it, which is how you would basically grease the axles and such. Let's see if I can get it down there. Basically, where that cap is, there's a Zerk fitting that doesn't actually go into anything. It's just like, it doesn't go anywhere. So you actually have to pull the tires off and grease the shafts. You have to pull the plastic caps off and grease those, which isn't a huge deal, but just state for the record that they are not real Zerk fittings. Outside of that, I've had no real bad experience with the tractor. I've had people talk about things broke and this and that. I mean, I would subjectively state that it's probably whomever put the unit together didn't do it right. Can't guarantee that, but this is kind of how I feel when it comes to that. Also, I did forget one thing that I actually did break. One of the spindles broke on the deck. I picked up a piece of string, and I think the star was stripped off already, and it did manage to actually break the spindle, so I had to replace that, which technically I guess you can say is my fault, but nonetheless I figured I'd mention it. So really, I mean, do I have any complaints about it? No. I have used this tractor for way more than it's designed to do. I mean, I've used it as a garden tractor, and it by all means is a light duty lawn tractor. So yeah, I mean, headlights still work, everything's still good, nothing squeaks, still starts, same battery. I mean, you can't really complain too much. And I know in the last video that I did, you would see trees and everything in the yard and all that. Well, I mean, essentially now, this is the backyard. We have cut down all the trees, so there's no trees there now. Built the patio and put the building in the back, and then I'll actually zoom in. That cart right there by the shed, that's actually what I tote with that tractor, and right now it's loaded up with pavers. Does a really good job. You really can't beat it for the money. And as far as for the tree line, you can kind of see all these trees over here where I have cut down. All this was covered in all those trees like that right there, and I cut that all down and toted them all away. So really good tractor. And I will also say, for the record, that it is stable on the hills. I've had real no issues with the hillsides or anything like that. It does pretty good for what it is. And yeah, so that's the 2-year update. Would I recommend it? If you could get it for $1,500 in today's market, $1,500-$1,600, I'd say you're probably that's about the quality you would get. I'd like to see it for $14.99, or $14.99 at the highest. $13.99 I think would be a fair price for this. Whether you can pick it up for that now, I don't know, but that's my review on it after 2 years of use. No real complaints at all. I mean, basically normal wear and tear, except for a few of my own negligent behaviors causing damage where I had to replace things. But outside of that, it's been a great tractor. And if you have any more questions about the Craftsman T140 from Lowe's, put them in the comments below. And thanks for watching, thanks for being the best part of the channel, and we will see you soon. Have a great weekend.